Every time I hear the story of Noah, I can't help but picture those cartoon animals on a giant boat. But when you actually read Genesis, it's way darker. Things have spiraled out of control since that first perfect garden.
It really is wild how quickly that perfect world unravels, isn't it? The Cain and Abel story was already grim, but by the time you get to Genesis 6, it feels like everyone's lost the plot completely.
Totally. It's like the family drama from Cain and Abel explodes into a global crisis. The Bible says the wickedness of man was great. That's not just bad behavior, it's like the whole operating system is corrupted.
Yeah, and the intensity of that language stands out. It's not just individual mistakes, it's every thought, every intention, constantly twisted. No wonder people see this as the ultimate cautionary tale.
So, that word violence in Genesis, the Hebrew, is hamas. It's not just fistfights or crime, it's systemic injustice. Everything falling apart at every level.
I think that's what makes the story feel so disturbingly relevant sometimes. Hamas's means the strong, exploiting the weak, trust breaking down, people just out for themselves. It's like a society that's come completely unglued.
Exactly. It's not just chaos for chaos's sake, it's the total opposite of the peaceful, ordered world Genesis started with. No wonder something drastic was about to happen.
And that's where Noah comes in, right? In this sea of corruption, he somehow stands out as different.
Noah is described as just and as someone who walked with God. That's pretty rare language in the Bible. It feels like he's a throwback to everything the world lost.
What gets me is, the text doesn't say Noah was perfect. It's more like he still cared about what's right, even when nobody else did. That takes guts. Imagine being the only one swimming against the current.
Yeah, living in a world where everyone's doing their own thing and you're this lone holdout for justice. I always wonder how isolated he must have felt.
And yet, that's exactly why he becomes the centerpiece of this whole reset. He's the one God taps for something world-changing.
So God gives Noah this wild assignment: build an ark, get your family on board, and pack 2 of every animal. It almost sounds like a myth, but in the ancient world, it's loaded with symbolism.
Absolutely. The Ark isn't just a boat, it's like a survival capsule for all the essentials of life, almost as if God is pressing pause, collecting the pieces of creation to restart everything after the flood.
I love that it echoes Genesis 1 too. The idea of gathering life, putting things in order before all the chaos hits. It's less a rescue mission, more a reboot.
And can you imagine the logistics? Rounding up animals, prepping food, the whole thing must have seemed impossible. But that's usually where these epic stories take off, right?
Here's where things get really wild. The text talks about the fountains of the deep breaking up and the windows of heaven opening. This isn't just a heavy rainstorm.
Yeah, it's like the fabric of creation itself just tears open. Water from below, water from above. All the boundaries God set up in Genesis 1 just collapse. It's total undoing.
The description feels almost apocalyptic. The world returns to that formless and void state, like creation is being reversed on purpose.
What really hits me is the sense of scale: 40 days and nights of relentless chaos. Everything you knew, gone. It's terrifying and kind of awe-inspiring at the same time.
In all that chaos, the ark is the only point of stability, a floating micro-world almost. It's like the last bubble of order in a universe coming apart.
Right. It's more than just safety. The Ark is almost sacred space, carrying not just Noah's family and animals, but a whole way of life. It's hope preserved in a box.
Can you imagine being inside, hearing nothing but water and wind, knowing everything else is gone? That kind of survival doesn't just change the world, it changes you.
Honestly, it feels like a metaphor for holding on to what matters most when everything else is falling apart.
After the floodwaters finally start to drop, there's this suspenseful moment. Noah sends out a raven, then a dove, waiting for some sign the world's okay again.
That part always got me as a kid. Will the dove come back? Will it find anything out there? It's like this ancient version of checking for Wi-Fi signal after a storm.
Haha, totally. And then finally, the dove returns with that olive leaf. It's such a tiny thing, but it's the first sign of hope. Life finds a way.
There's something beautifully simple about that. After all the destruction, one green leaf says, it's possible to start again.
When Noah and his family finally leave the ark, their first move isn't to explore or build, it's to worship. They build an altar and give thanks right away.
That really strikes me. After surviving something that massive, gratitude isn't just politeness. It's a deep recognition of having been carried through chaos. It's a reset of the heart, not just the world.
I feel like that moment grounds the whole story. It says, before anything else, remember who brought you here.
Yeah, it's a lesson in pausing after survival, processing what's happened before, just charging ahead.
After the flood, God makes a covenant, a promise never to destroy everything like that again. And the sign is a rainbow, which is such a powerful image.
What blows my mind is that in ancient times, a bow was a weapon. So hanging it in the clouds is like saying, the conflict is over. No more war against the world.
It totally flips the way we see rainbows as gentle or pretty. For people back then, it was a symbol of peace after unimaginable violence.
And that promise isn't just for Noah, it's for every future generation. It's cosmic reassurance that chaos won't win in the end.
One of the biggest things people miss is that the flood story is about both destruction and creation. It's the world going back to square one so it can start fresh.
Exactly. It's not just punishment, it's a radical undoing to make space for something new, like wiping a chalkboard clean, but with way higher stakes.
That's why the ark matters so much. It's God preserving the blueprint, even when everything else is chaos.
And honestly, it says something hopeful. Even when things seem ruined, new beginnings are possible if you're willing to carry the essentials forward.
People often see the flood as pure destruction, but at its heart, it's also about preservation. God saves a remnant not just for survival, but for the chance to rebuild.
That's such an important point. The ark is as much a symbol of grace as of judgment. Even at our lowest, the story says, there's a way through, a future being protected.
I love that. It's like the idea that there's always a thread of hope, no matter how tangled everything else gets.
And maybe that's the message people need most. Not that disaster is inevitable, but that restoration is always in play, too.
After all the drama, the final note is surprisingly gentle. God promises stability. The rainbow says, I'm not going to let everything fall apart again.
It's comforting, isn't it? After chaos, there's this baseline promise. The world has a future. God's working with humanity's mess, not just wiping it out.
That commitment to work within our brokenness, not just erase it, is kind of radical. It invites us to partner in the ongoing story.
And it sets the tone for everything that comes later, a world where second chances and new covenants are always possible.
Thinking back, it's wild how the flood story gets reduced to a nursery mural. But the real version is messy, raw, and deeply human. It tackles justice, loss, hope, and fresh starts.
And it keeps asking tough questions. What happens when societies break down? Can we recover after everything falls apart? The power is in that honest wrestling, not just the happy ending.
I think that's what makes it endure. It's not a fairy tale, it's a survival story with real stakes and real consequences.
And at the heart of it, there's always a rainbow, a reminder that even after the worst, new beginnings aren't just possible, they're promised.